Nation of Fit in 10, welcome to day 65, 6 days to go, and the calendar link has been put up, the Calendly link has been put up for you to book your final scan, which is going to happen in about a week's time. Your final scan. I may add to the calendar a Monday, so I'm just going to take a look and see how many people have registered for their scan, and I may move it, like I said, to a Monday. So I'll keep you posted on that. More of your questions, so let's get into it. Oh, just a reminder too, July 6th, we're going to have our finale. July 6th in the gym, 6 p.m., our finale. I'll send out an email about that. I should probably put it in Slack too. All right, some great questions here, so let's get into this. Well, first comment is the following. I've had some success with one less set for lifting exercises as I suggested. And it's not interfering with my sleep as much. I've only been doing half an hour lifting sessions, so I'm going to increase my strength sessions to 45 minutes this week. So this is really good. But 45 minutes might be a bit much. You're going from half an hour to 45. Maybe just add 10 minutes. Go from half an hour to 40. I know you're thinking, well, it's just that's just another 5 minutes. But we have to look at this at a percentage basis, and if we add 10 minutes, that's 33%, and that's going to be plenty, okay? Maybe even less than that. Add 8 minutes or something. All right? Just tack on a little bit and then see how it goes. Question, do you have any advice for dealing with perfectionism? Yes, perfectionism doesn't work, okay? Perfectionism doesn't work. I'll just tell you a quick story about myself. I won't go into the details. I'll just tell you this much. I used to go to the gym and beat the crap out of my body. And that in my mind was like, it was almost like, how much can I beat the crap out of my body? And then that would dictate how good the workout was, or how effective it's going to be, or how much I'm going to improve out of it. When in reality, looking back on it, it just held me back because I was just doing too much. I was doing way too much. And so at some point, there's a point of diminishing returns, and then at just another point, you're just regressing. So, it's good that let me continue reading the question. But I'll tell you right now, perfectionism just doesn't work. You're not going to get far. I was told by a professional recently that this is something that I need to deal with. I'm not going to lie. It was a bit of shock to hear this at first. Now that I've had time to think through it, I'm noticing that it's impacting my progress, especially when it comes to exercise. Often I will push myself too hard and end up paying for it, then completely avoiding exercise later because I'm not performing at the level I think I should be. Okay. I want to say this, the more methodical you are, the more you put things on paper, the more that you kind of strategize and make small changes that you can really measure and see, the better off you will be. If you make your decision on whatever you're planning on doing by the way that you feel, this is not going to work for you. I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, this is something that killed me in so many ways. I really feel like, I don't want to say I wasted my time because, nothing's a waste of time, but I spent many years doing stuff like this, all right? It was all about how I felt, and I'm not saying that feelings aren't important, that's great and everything, but often they will mislead us. The way we feel about something, especially if it's irrational, which our feelings can be very irrational sometimes, it will take us down the wrong path. So we've got to try to think more rationally and objectively and methodically when it comes to diet and exercise. So I think exactly as you did, when we go back to the point that you made prior to this question here, the first thing I read out, you cut your workouts, I'm assuming, in half, right? And then you were able to sleep better. So now let's add in a little bit and see, what you can handle. So, add another 5 or 8 minutes or whatever. I know you mentioned 15. I think 15 is too much. I have this persistent voice in my head. So this continues this question comment. I've had this persistent voice in my head telling me I'll never be strong enough I'll never be fit enough. And even if I get to the place where I'm happy, it won't last. Okay, so you've got to fight these messages that you're getting with the opposite message. You've got to tell yourself that you will be strong, you will be fit enough, and it will last. And I will tell you, nothing goes in vain. Like, when you put the effort in, it will come back. Now, I'm not saying that everything's going to be perfect, all right? It may require some trial and error, but you will reap the benefits. But my suggestion is, especially when it comes to exercise, always err on the side of a little bit less. Okay, when it comes to calories, always err on the side of a little more calories. When it comes to exercise, always do a little bit less. But just write it out, measure it out, to the best of your degree, describe it, detail it, and then, build on it or not. Maybe that's going to be enough for now, okay? But eventually you'll start to scale it. Do not, I'll repeat this again, do not make decisions on your diet or your exercise regime based on how you feel. I mean, let me just give you another example here. Imagine if you were building a house and you just went on, you forget about the architectural plans, forget about, any engineering methodology that goes behind, the structure of a house. Forget about any of that. You just went on feel. I feel like it should be this, and I feel like I should put a nail here, and I feel like everything should be just how I feel. Your house, you're not going to have a house, right? You probably will not have a house. So, again, we've got to always think about this in more of a, stoic sense, so to speak, right? So tell yourself, when you hear these messages, like, I'm not strong enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not fit enough, you got to tell yourself, I am fit enough, I'm going to get fitter, I will get stronger, and it's going to last because I'm going to keep doing it. And if you hit these little speed bumps, like for example when you're doing, it looks like maybe perhaps you're doing too much, then you just tell yourself, okay, that amount is not the solution. What is the solution? Oh, okay, because the solution is out there. There's a solution out there for everything. Okay, it's just a matter of finding it. So, and that's what we got to keep pushing for. All right, 7.5 minutes. I'm going to continue with this because there's more to this, it looks like, next day. But these are really great questions, and the mind can be our worst enemy, right? All right, and today's message goes along quite well with what we just talked about. Well, a little bit. Okay? The message is the following. What gets measured gets managed. What gets measured gets managed. Okay, now this is part of it, and I guess you could add more to it. But ultimately, as I've mentioned to you, being methodical, put things on paper, being rational, removing your emotions from it, will get much better managed. Another way of looking at this is, looking at a balance sheet in accounting, or a profits and loss statement. These are just things, these are numbers that reflect what is, right? There's no feelings in this, right? And the reason I'm saying this is because, in particular with accounting, just like we are counting for macros, so to speak, and even our exercise, with accounting, we know exactly what's going on. We know exactly what's going on with the financials. Same thing with diet and exercise. Maybe not specifically because maybe we don't know exactly how many calories we burned or exactly how many calories we ate, but we have a very good idea if we manage it well, right? What gets measured gets managed. Okay, positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, for the love of God, give some gratitude, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow.